Everything was up to date. It was nice, even in the steerage, you see. Oh, there was a place, you see, where there was small tables you could sit and play cards. Or they had a room for the ladies, you see. There was a piano in there, they'd sit and sing or play and so on. There was a bar there, you could go up to the bar, order whatever you want, to beer, whiskey, wine, whatever you wanted. It was a wonderful ship, you know. I said to one fellow I'd give $5 if that I would be allowed to go through it. I said, and see the first class of it. But even third class was good. When they got through, they got 2 tugboats to try and get the bow from the dock, you see, away from the dock so that they could go out. Well, it was so big and heavy that it was hard for them to move this here ship, you see. Then they started at one of the propellers, you see, to try and help along. And the suction of it in there was so strong that it broke the towing line of the steamship New York. And we come awful close to having a collision before we ever got out of it. And there was one woman, I heard it myself. She said the ship is never going to see New York. That night, or it was on a Sunday, you see. Well, in the morning, a lot of them, they didn't get up so early, but then they had breakfast, and then after a while, then they had the church meeting, you see, on there. After, I don't know, probably about 2:30 and so on, you see, when they started, and they had a big party down in the first class, you see. I stayed up till about 10 o'clock that night and listened to them. I didn't dance or anything, but I never was a dancer. Mm-hmm. And then I was looking at them and listened to the music and so on. But 10 o'clock, I went down to bed. Yeah, this here Humlin, he woke up too when we struck the iceberg. Well, it wasn't a jar of it or anything of that sort, no. But we could hear someone talking in the hall. And this here fellow, he says, what is that? Well, I said, I don't know, but I said, I'll sure get up and find out. And I looked at my watch. Of course, it might have been a little later than that, but at my watch, it was 10 minutes to 12. One that we struck the iceberg. Well, I told him, I said, I'll go upstairs, I want to find out. So I went up the 3 stairs up to the main deck on the front part there, you see, to see what was going on. And there was a few of the sailors there, and I asked them, what is wrong? Oh, they said, there's nothing. He said, just go down again. They said, there's nothing. But I saw this ice, you know, and I was just wondering. So I went down again, and I went down to the room of my brother-in-law and my cousin. They had a room together. And I said, you better get up. I said, I guess there's something wrong. I don't know if there's any danger of it or not. Well, my cousin said, I like to sleep. No, I said, you get up. Then we went up together there up on deck. Well, by this time, you see, in the stairways, and some of them took it as a joke. They were laughing and all that, and some was crying, and some commotion, you see, of all this here going on. We come up then, we didn't know exactly what was going on, but I tried to get upstairs, but they locked the door, you see. At this door where you see, they locked up that door when I first was up there, so no one else could come up, you know. They didn't want to see this, they didn't want to hear that. So they locked that door. Well, then the door, you see, where we were really on the poop deck or on the main deck there, you see, and there was a door up the stairs, up to the upper decks, you see. They locked that. Couldn't get up there. I saw a woman there, she had 2 small children, and they were hanging on to her skirt, and there was a fellow on the top deck. He said, just be quiet. He said, there is another ship coming. Well, I could see the light of it myself. All the boats was going there and so on, and I stood as long as probably very few that. There was a lot of them, there was hundreds of them in the water when I jumped off, and looking at the people. And that's the moments that I can never forget. Oh, hundreds and hundreds, you see, and they joined together, man. They kind of kept away from the railing, but they were standing together, you expect, and they joined hands, man, and they are hollered in different languages, save us, save us, save us. That is a picture I can never forget as long as I live. I had a fur-lined coat, and I took that off, and I took a pair of gloves out of there and stuck it in my pocket and threw it back on the deck. And then I took a hold of this rope and let myself down. I don't know how far, but I let me down a ways, and then I let go. And I went down into the water, of course, and I went under, and I could feel a rope around me. I had probably some of this here, part of the ropes, you see. And I tried to get away from that as much as I could. Then I tried to swim, you see, away from the ship because I was afraid of it, the suction, but there wasn't much suction. If it had went down fast and flat, you see, the way that had been suction at least for a half a mile, you know. But I probably wasn't 100 yards away from it when it went down. You see, there was still a lot of people in the water, you know. I tried to swim and get away from the boat, which I did. And the last I saw of the Titanic, now some of them, even in the books, is telling that the lights went out, but that isn't so. There was still light when I was in the water looking at it, and the propellers, I could see them way out of more than half of the ship was on the water. I had an idea I wasn't going to die. I don't know, for some reason, but I kind of had that idea, but so I thought, well, it's so cold. Boy, I could feel my hands getting cold. If I should get unconscious, I tried the life preserver, and shucks, you wouldn't need to swim at all, and your head and all this here was out of the, you could float on that, you know. So I thought if I get unconscious, then I'd probably float anyway. But of course, you would have went. There was no human being that could stand that for any length of time, you know that. There wasn't, probably some there hung down to something, you see, for about an hour. That's the longest. You couldn't hear nothing after that.